Hey, it's your
Hey,
boy, James Mobs. Welcome back to NFHell Week 3. Gobo's sick, um, and tired of making really bad choices on the show, or he can't talk right now. If he could talk, he would be here making a lot more poor choices. Instead, we have Major Tommy.
I'm going to make poor choices for you, Gobo.
Yeah, and the rule is on this show, if you miss, you have to take and accept the picks of the person taking your place. So, that known, we're going to talk about some news first. Not a big news week. It's mostly injuries. I will start out with Carolina. He's not injured, but he's being benched. Number one overall pick of the draft last year, Bryce Young is being benched in favor of a 2,000-year-old Andy Dalton. Tom, what do you think?
I think actually putting Bryce Young, it's just another way. I don't like what Carolina did in the whole situation. I've read a couple things on it. It's another example of taking a really good young quarterback and throwing them in to a really bad situation and basically ruining their career before it even gets off the ground. So maybe they're doing him a favor. I don't know. The team is going nowhere. The best thing he can do is get through his contract and get his agent to get him the hell out of there. So,
I don't know the I know the reasons. They're 0-2 after a miserable season last year. They're 0-2 by getting just smacked
yeah,
around by their first two opponents and not looking good at all. I know Andy Dalton will bring some experience to the quarterback position, but I don't know if this is a grooming situation um, where you can watch and see what a professional quarterback looks like before they bring him back, or if they're just like, F this, we effed
it
up.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the problem in Carolina is the ownership. They do not know. They don't know what they're doing. Management doesn't know what they're doing. The team is a mess. Uh, the only solution to this is sell the team, bring new people in. That's my opinion.
You had Christian McCaffrey, you morons.
Yeah.
Sorry, like he's one of the most electrifying players in the game, and you traded him away. What for? Moron.
What for?
All right. Um, like I said, not a lot of news. Hall of Fame eligibility was released. Me and Gober are going to handle that next week. I just want to say and plead to the writers and voters out there, please, please, the numbers are there. Just put beast mode in, please. We all deserve to hear that Hall of Fame speech. Um, that's all. Plus, there's no more likable player right now that's out there, and he's everywhere. Thoughts on the Hall of Fame?
None. Not at this point. Wait and see who we get.
All right. Injuries. Boy, there's a big list. Isaiah Pacheco is on injured reserve for Kansas City. Their running back, not sure. If there's a team that can do it without it, it would be the Chiefs. So, uh, just get better. But he's on the injured reserve. He's out for the year, I believe. He tore something in his leg, and it's not one of those ones that's easy to come back from. Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback for Miami. Concussion number 4. Team put him on injured reserve today.
Going to be gone a while. Going to be gone a while.
At least 4 you have to miss.
Yeah.
So there's that. Um, Sucks. Seattle plays them this week, and I really I don't want to watch a game where we're playing against Skylar Thompson. You ever heard that name?
No,
Skylar Thompson. What the hell? Not interested in that game. However, that's the game I'm gonna get in Seattle.
in
So
Seattle.
anyone who knows me knows that I want to face teams at their full strength. They're still gonna have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Devin A. Chain.
It
Um,
won't be the same
but it, you know, what good's having the fastest receivers in the world if you can't get them the
if
ball?
you can't find them. Yeah.
And we'll see. Skylar Thompson might be Jesus. He might be the second coming. He didn't look very good against Buffalo when he came in, but probably wasn't expecting to play either. Give him a week of preparation. I expect something. We'll see. Who else is injured? DeForest Buckner for the Colts. I don't know if he's on injured reserve, but it looks like it. It looks like it. So he'll miss at least 4 games. Who else? Um, Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks is not on injured reserve. He was a game time decision uh this week, and Nick or Zach Charbonnet did not do great. So let's hope Kenneth Walker's back. Cooper Cup. Remember earlier the Rams put Puka Nakua on injured reserve. So he'll have to miss at least 4 games. But that left them with Cooper Cup and Tutu Atwell. Well, Cooper Cup is now officially out. I'm not sure. He is not officially on the injured reserve yet, but once he goes there, he will have to miss at least 4 games.
Right.
Um, Jordan Love will miss his second game,
Maybe.
maybe.
Maybe. There's some stuff floating around that he might play. We'll see.
So this 3 to 6 weeks business uh was precautionary, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember
Uh,
when Russell Wilson tore his MCL or strained his MCL. He didn't miss a game. So it's
yeah.
possible. AJ Brown was gone from this last game. Don't know his status. I don't know Russell Wilson's status, which really bothers me since I'm going to be calling uh making a pick based on not knowing who the starting quarterback is. I will tell you this though. Knowing Russell and Justin Fields, I feel like it's kind of interchangeable. That whoever's playing doesn't change my pick. If you told me JJ Watt was out or TJ Watt was out, I'd probably reconsider some things. But those are the players that I know are out. Um, there's probably more, but those are the big ones that we wanted to talk about. Um, Rookies. This rookie class was really exciting. Especially at the quarterback position. You had a generational talent in Caleb Williams coming out. You have Michael Penix Jr., you had JJ McCarthy, all these guys. Well, McCarthy got injured before the season started. Minnesota's now 2-0. You got Caleb Williams yet to have a touchdown in 2 weeks. Game one's defense won for him. They got beat by last year's rookie of the year, CJ Stroud. And what's happening? Michael Penix Jr. is not going to get to play because of Kirk Cousins. Still wondering if you couldn't have used that draft pick a little bit better since you signed Cousins for four
Cousins. Yeah,
years.
exactly.
And you
Yeah.
did that and you picked Penix knowing he was the oldest quarterback in the draft. He's going to be looking like Uncle Tom or Uncle Tom. He's going to be looking like Major
I'm Uncle
Tom
Tom too. Yes.
before he gets to play.
Yeah.
It's the NFL. It's NFHell, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this sucks because we usually go like 40 minutes on news and it's just not
There
there.
just isn't a lot.
It's just not there today. I will say, um, it was my birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, me.
Happy birthday.
I got the candle of success. Gobo's
How's
birthday is next
how,
Tuesday.
how's that smelling, by the way?
Well, I put it out
Oh,
because
okay.
that was for the last show, but it smells good. I mean, smells better than Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. That's for sure.
Which was the last candle you got?
Correct.
Well, I can just see you now on Sunday, sitting there watching your boring game against Miami and have your candle burning.
I can't burn it till they win.
Oh, okay.
Still Miami. These guys are still gonna show up and play a football game. And let's be honest, I still don't know what the Seahawks look like, but we'll cover that here in just a bit. All right, that's all the news that I have, folks. No big contracts that I can
There's
think.
not even a lot of trade talk, or a, contract talk, signing people, free agency, all that stuff. There's just not a lot going on right now.
Yeah, so I think after week 4 to fill slow news weeks, we're gonna do start going back to telling the truth about our teams. That I like that segment. It was fun. Except for when you had to listen to Jazz not tell the truth about the Giants. Uh,
That's a pretty regular thing.
we don't have that problem this time around. Okay. So week 3 on the schedule. Are you ready to lose?
Oh no.
You ready? I'm
No,
gonna let
no, no,
you
no.
pick first every time. Um,
Boy. Okay.
we have goddamn Jets
Yes.
in prime time against the Patriots. Oh Lord, how do I
Talk
wake up and watch this piece of shit?
talk about terrible games. Uh I'll take uh I'll take the Jets by a field goal. Call it 27-24. And
24.
Rodgers throws at least one pick in this game, but they still managed to pull it out.
All right. I boy, I really don't want to pick the Jets. Fucking hate the Jets. Um, especially when they're in prime time. Bullshit.
It's the number 2 TV market in the United States.
And
That's
even
why.
they're bored.
Even there, yes.
All right.
If there's a Yankees game on that night, you know who's going to get the viewership.
I'm picking New England and I'm gonna pick them 21-20 just because I don't want to pick the Jets. Oh my God. I can't believe I did that. All right, here we go. Another New York failure against a Cleveland failure. Man, oh man. This would have been a better game. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. This game will be played at noon on Sunday. And I bet you this has the fewest goes or highlights on the NFL channel where they show all the games. They will barely be going to this game at all. Go ahead.
Just based on the strength of their past performance the first couple of weeks. I'll pick Cleveland in this one. Call it. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game though. Um, 17-10 Cleveland.
17-10 Cleveland. I can ride with that. 17-10 Cleveland. I'm gonna go 17-13 Cleveland. Just so there is a difference. All right. We got Caleb Williams going against AR.
Um, I'm gonna take Chicago in this one. Only because of their defense. But this could be a close one. I'll I'll say 21-20 Chicago. Sorry, Gobo. You're gonna get what you're gonna get here today.
That's right. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna say 12-9. All field goals. Chicago. All right. This is big. This is big. The battle of the 2-0s. You got Houston, CJ Stroud, rookie of the year, against the mighty Sam Darnold in Minneapolis. What do you got?
Man, I think this is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. Um, and it's a hard pick. I'm going to take I'm going to take the Vikings by a field goal.
All right.
And I think it's going to be a close thing. Let's say I think there will be some scoring in this though. 30-27 Vikings.
All right. Gobo, he's predicting your division rivals to go 3-0, which means you're picking them to go 3-0. I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna say Houston wins this one 21-13. Houston, do we have a problem?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. All right. We got next up. Whew, Philadelphia underwhelming team against a completely overwhelming New Orleans. In New Orleans.
Saints win this one in a blowout. I'm gonna say Saints 36 and Philly 14.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yep, I'm
I,
going there.
I'm gonna pick Philly. Now,
And what's the rationale behind that, based on what you've seen the first 2 weeks?
based on what I've seen the first 2 weeks, is I don't know if New Orleans is for real.
I think they are.
I don't know. Scoring on 15 or 18 consecutive drives to open the season seems pretty good. I think Dane Michael said they it feels like the greatest show on turf reincarnated. They definitely have some ballers. In Olave, Chris Olave out of Ohio State, and Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill. Derek Carr's their fucking quarterback, dude. If you were picking right now, would you take Derek Carr or Jalen Hurts?
Oh, hurts.
Yeah, I think 90% of people would.
But I don't think that's
But
all
that
that's
doesn't
at
mean
play in
that
this
Carr couldn't
game.
have turned it. I mean, he could have
Yeah.
been a system that's working absolutely perfect for him. But I do think it'll be close. I'm gonna go 24-21 Philly. And again, I hate picking Philly because I honestly don't think that they're that good of a team. But I also think if they get AJ Brown back, um, it'll be a big boost. I also know that they've lost by not having Jason Kelsey in the middle of that offensive line anymore. Um, but I don't
It
know.
shows.
Philly's got to win, and they've got to be taking New Orleans seriously. I think that factored into the first 2 weeks. Everyone's like, New Orleans is
Yeah.
bottom of the barrel team.
Yeah, they're not going to make that mistake this week, I don't think.
You can't. 91 points,
Especially where they are. Yeah.
91 points in 2 games. You cannot take this team for sleepers. All right. So yeah. Plus, I want to have differing choices. I don't want to have us to have the
Yep.
exact same thing every time. So all right. The LA Chargers at Pittsburgh. This is tough. Harbaugh
I'm gonna I'm
Thompson.
gonna pick the Chargers.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick the Chargers by a field goal. Call it 21-17 by four
Yeah.
points. And the only thing I just think the Chargers are Harbaugh's got them playing well. And I do think that I'm back to what I said on the this week's news show. If Russell Wilson, and I don't get me, I love Russell Wilson. I really do. I'd like to see him do well. But if he starts this game, he'll be out by halftime. I think Justin Fields is going to be back in there, and Justin may start the game, but I think Chargers win this one.
I got Pittsburgh no matter who starts 28-21. All right. Denver at Tampa. Tell me how bad you think Tampa's going to beat Denver right now.
42-10.
I mean, that sounds right to me. I'm going to go 41-14. No, no. 41-15. All field goals. Because I don't think this is where
Or a
I
touch,
don't
two
think,
field goals and a safety.
I don't think uh that Denver goes to Tampa so Bo Nix could throw his first set of touchdowns. That just doesn't make sense to
Denver might be looking at
me.
getting the third pick in the draft.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Don't ask me how you get three easy games to start off the season, but Green Bay at Tennessee.
We're going to take the Packers, you know that. Um, if Jordan Love starts, we probably win by a little bit better margin than if Malik does. But this is Malik against if he starts, it's him against his former team. I think that gives him an advantage. I think our running game will show up again, even though our short yardage guy AJ Dillon is still out with injury. But I I think we win this one by 10 points. Call it 30-20. That'd be my take. We do, and I do think, we had a real problem in the red zone last week. I think we get past that this week.
All right. Are you basing that on Love starting or no?
I'm basing that on Love starting. Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go. Boy, I wish I knew if Love was starting or not, because that absolutely changes my decision.
Yeah. In terms of the margin, you mean?
No,
Really?
and I'm basing it on if I had a choice between Malik Willis and Will Levis, I'm taking Will Levis. Um, they got some they got some decent pieces around him. They lost King, uh, what's his face, their running back. They lost him, but they filled in the gaps quite nicely. I don't think they're a team that's in the top five for draft picks. Uh, Gosh.
I think our D is improved enough that that's not going to matter. That's my take on it. But
All right. Now you pissed me off. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go 27, 24, Tennessee.
we'll see, man.
Hey man, you better be right, because if I win this one, I'll never shut up about it.
Yeah.
All right. Carolina goes to Las Vegas to see if they can drum up a little luck.
Yeah, they'd have Carolina would have better odds against the house playing roulette, I think, than they're going to have here against
You're
Vegas.
forgetting Bryce Young isn't starting anymore. It's Andy Dalton.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Let's take Vegas by 2 touchdowns, 21-7.
I'm gonna go Raiders by 3 touchdowns, 30
To 9
to 10.
to 10.
30 to 10. Raiders. All right. Here we go. The Tualess Miami Dolphins fly all the way across the country. Longest trip you can make in
In the NFL. Yep.
professional
Unless you're going to Brazil, right?
professional sports in the United States.
Yes.
Longest trip you can make. Um, Miami to Seattle. Uh, 3:05 game. So 4:05. It's not gonna five.
Won't matter.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt them. So, what you got?
Seattle wins this one pretty handily. I would I would put it at probably let's call it a 24-7 game, Seattle.
All right.
I think Gino really steps up in this and starts showing us even more what he's got going.
I'm gonna say 31-28 Seahawks. And my
You're
rationale,
you're you're not that confident in your defense, are you?
well, the last 2 years we've been 31st and 30th in the run game on defense. All right. We moved Pete Carroll and replaced him with a defensive coach in Mike McDonald, who has had the best run defense in the league for the last 2 years. And it's just not turned around yet. Um, New England ran for almost 200 yards on us and allowed New England's tight end to set career highs in passes and yards caught. So there's some work to do. Jacoby Brissett is not exactly Brett Favre or Tom Brady. So I don't know. And here's the thing. While Bo Nix looked terrible against Pittsburgh, he scored a touchdown in the run game against us, and he didn't. I mean, he had some yardage and some nice plays. So I feel like I don't know this defense yet. I don't
But
trust it yet.
but don't you feel that once Seattle gets up by a couple touchdowns, Miami's ditches the run and has to try the pass game, and then it's all over. That's where I was thinking they were going to the margin was going to be bigger.
Well, again, and I followed the Seahawks forever and ever and ever. If we were talking to Pete Carroll team, I would say that I know that once we get up two scores, which rarely happens, Pete sits. He sits down and expects his defense, whether it's the Legion of Boom or the Legion of holy shit, we fucking suck at defense. Uh,
That's what he did.
they'll write it. And
Yeah.
it's playing to lose instead of playing to win. I'm of the opinion that you never chase points, you never play to win, or you never play not to lose.
You keep your foot on the gas the whole time.
Keep your foot on the you do what got you there.
Yeah.
You start dropping back and allowing chunk yardage, bend but not break. This I hate that philosophy. So plus I don't want to be cocky and say 31-13. They haven't earned that score for me yet. I don't mind being wrong on the score. I
Yeah.
want to be right on winning. And if it's by 3 points and it's 28-31, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
If we do win like 35-4 and we give up another two safeties, well, it is what it is. But that's where I'm at. All right. Man, you get some hard stuff here. Detroit at Arizona.
I don't think this is a hard one. The Lions all day on this.
Okay.
I think the Lions win this by, let's call it 10 points. Call it, call it 24-14. I think the Lions win.
All right. I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to use your score against you, 24-14, but I'm going to go Arizona.
Because
I don't want them to win because they're coming up, man. They kept their coach, they kept their program intact. Kyler Murray was injured most of last year. He came back and he was good. He still looks like Mario running around out there, but with the new additions on defense and Marvin Harrison Jr., who looks to be
but
I
remember,
Ray Fitzgerald part two, but
remember Detroit's coming off a game that from last week that they are not going to let that happen again. That I just think the whole mindset is going to be, holy shit, what did we do? And we got to get back on track because we got the Vikings and the Packers to contend. I don't know. I just don't think they're going to do that.
and I think that I agree with you in their thought process, but then they have Jared Goff as their quarterback. And it really doesn't matter what they want to do. It's what they're limited to. But again, no one can accuse us of picking the same things, and one of us is gonna uh have a better. I don't think we're gonna go 8-8. Both of us.
No, no, probably not.
All right. Baltimore at Dallas.
Oh boy.
You got the
I
MVP of the league last year facing the highest paid quarterback in sports.
I I think I actually think this is a tough call. Um, I mean, 2 weeks ago I would have picked Baltimore all day. I'm not so sure now. I think it's a close one. I'm going to give it to Dallas by a point, 21-20.
Woo.
And I'm like you. I don't want the Cowboys to ever win, but
I'm gonna go 24-23.
Ravens, Dallas.
I think the Ravens go 0-3, and then the calling for Harbaugh gets even louder and louder and louder.
Maybe.
All right. This is an easy one. ailing San Francisco, who will be down Debo Samuels and Christian McCaffrey, going into the Rams, who are missing Cooper Kupp and Puka Nakua, and Aaron Donald retired.
I'm going to take the Rams.
Really?
Yep, I'll take the Rams by field goal, 18-15.
That was a
Uh,
good year. 1815.
A good year for the Monroe Doctrine.
You're old. All right. I'm not going to agree with you on this one either. I think it's 31-17. San Francisco. But I will be happy if the stadium just implodes.
Implodes,
Yep.
wipes out both teams.
Yep. All right. Kansas City goes to Atlanta.
Well, every team's going to lose one game, right? This season. Um, but I don't think this is Kansas City's week. So I think Kansas City
I was going to
brings,
say, what happened to don't bet against Kansas City? Not
yeah, not this week. I think Kansas City brings the Falcons back down to earth and wins this game by 10 points, 27-17. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think Kansas City, despite losing Pacheco, um, and having an aging visibly before our eyes, Travis Kelce. I'm not gonna say I think we went from him being the best player in the game 2 years ago to where the hell you at, bud? And
He's got other things on his mind right now.
I don't want to blame it on that. He's still football focused, but he's just not. He's not
Well,
what he was. He's not what he was.
we all we all get older. I sure the hell ain't what I was.
All right, I'm gonna go 34-24 Kansas City. All right. This one should be a no-brainer. This one,
Yeah,
Jacksonville goes to Buffalo.
Buffalo's at home. They win this one handily. 34-14. Maybe 34-10. Make it 34-10.
Right. I'm gonna go 35-27 Buffalo. Now, this is an interesting game for Monday Night Football. All right. You with me?
Yep.
You with me on this one? This is the Washington Commanders 1-1 going into the 0-2 Cincinnati Bengals. Remember, Cincinnati lost to New England in Cincinnati, and they lost to Kansas City in Kansas City. What do you thought? What do you think?
Cincinnati wins this. They're tired of losing. And Washington, while I agree with you that they're putting the things in place to make it happen, they're nowhere near there yet. Cincinnati wins at home. I'm going to call this one 24-10 Cincinnati Bengals.
All right. So Joe Burrow looked completely befuddled in week 1 against New England in their own building, but then he went into Arrowhead like he always does, balled out. Was the same old Joe Burrow. Which Burrow are we going to get? Remember, guys, they are notorious for slow starts in the beginning of the season. And as it's been going, slow starts, Burrow gets hurt, season's over. They're 0-2 right now. I cannot believe that they're going to allow themselves to go 0-3 with two of the first three games being at home to teams that should have a top five draft pick. That would be as bad as an injury resulting in the end of their season. 0-3 at this point with two of the easiest games on your schedule under your belt. Unacceptable. So I'm gonna have to say 27-14 Cincinnati, Ohio, where they're eating the dogs, eating the
Eating the
cat,
cats
eating the pets of the people that
who
live.
live there.
Okay,
Maybe they can focus on football.
maybe. Maybe there's a new stadium food. Hot dog.
Cat on a stick.
There you go. Marketing team 101. All right. That does it for NFL week 3. If you missed Gobo and thought Major Tommy was boring as hell, you can
I
tell
was.
you can tell us in there.
Yep.
Um,
I
but
don't need to ever come back.
I grabbed him because he's a Packers fan, you guys. And I think he
On
did.
the other hand, if you enjoyed my laid back approach to this, we can give Gobo the boot too.
I mean, I think your picks are ridiculous, and I'm gonna hammer you,
Oh, come on now. I'm
and
going to kick your ass.
I'm gonna completely hammer you.
No, no,
Um,
no. You know what? We'll revisit this and just see.
oh, I'm sure. That's the
Maybe
whole
at time,
point.
maybe at times you don't even want to.
That's the point. I mean, you gotta stick with the pick. You gotta back up what you said. So
Well, hopefully you give me a written copy of this so I can remember who I picked because
I
I am
will.
fucking old.
I will resend the spreadsheet. Um, we didn't make any bold predictions on any of these games.
No,
That's boring of us. I'm gonna do one right now. I'm gonna say Bumble Nuts and and AR both have two interceptions.
yeah, I said AR was going to get one, but two is certainly not out of the
Oh,
realm of.
it's
He's
bold.
very capable of that.
That's what makes it bold.
He's very capable of that.
I'll say multiple picks instead of
Instead of a single.
yeah. So both of them have multiple picks. All right. Now we got one.
And my bold prediction was that if Russell starts in Pittsburgh, he's out by halftime.
Oh yeah, okay. Um, I'll just put Russell out by halftime.
You kind of said that too.
Well, I don't believe it. I'm saying that if he doesn't play Russell Wilson football, they're going to go back to the guy that was incredibly efficient over the last two games. So
I love Russell. I think he's done. I
I'm
really do.
indifferent to Russell at this point. I mean, he's hilarious to me. Like for week 1, Tom, he was inactive on the sheet, but he was in full pads and uniform on the sidelines. And I can't think of a more Russell Wilson thing to do.
Oh, and
Only
that's
thing that
why
I think of why he did that is to show everybody that he has that captain patch.
he's committed to the team. I mean, that's a Russell thing. Yeah.
I mean,
That's why we like him, right?
Huey,
Yeah.
I think it's bit
Yeah.
Magoo. Bit Magoo. And I historically do not like Pittsburgh because of Super Bowl 40, but that whole team is gone now.
Yeah,
Clean slate. I like Mike Tomlin. He's a great
I do
coach.
too. He's a
Uh,
great coach.
and I love TJ. How can you not love TJ Watt? I mean,
Yeah.
although I do think Aiden Hutchinson's going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. I mean, it's had like 5 sacks, dude, in one game.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Anyway, that's the show. I got to get editing or you guys aren't going to see it. Thank you to
Thank you, everybody.
Tom for
Thank you
showing
for
up,
having me on. Yep.
making terrible picks in Gobo's place.
You're welcome, Gobo. Later.
Peace.